The origin story is back for the first time since its original release back in Season 1 when it had a total of 6 perk combinations. But this time, it's back with a massive 10,368 different perk combinations. But we have no scope selection. Come on, Bungie, bring back scopes. The origin story is a Kinetic 450 round per minute auto rifle, meaning it shares the likeness of Breakneck, Firefright, and Tiger Spite. It's obtainable via Vanguard Ops, meaning it can drop from completing strikes or focusing it with Zavala. And trust me, you're going to want to be focusing this gun with your Ingrams. Let's take a look at the perks it can roll. In the third column, we have Slideways, Demolitionist, Hipfire Grip, Zen Moment, Discord, Attrition Orbs, Feeding Frenzy, Keep Away, Threat Detector, Fragile Focus, Dynamic Sway Reduction, and Strategist. Whew. And in the fourth column, we have Onslaught, Gutshot Straight, Eye of the Storm, High Ground, Surrounded, Pugilist, Harmony, Rampage, Snapshot Sights, Swashbuckler, Target Lock, and Kinetic Tremors. And then for its origin trait, you get the choice between Niter Focus, which will grant accuracy and range after hitting a few shots, and Vanguard's Vindication, which will grant 10 HP per kill. I think both of these perks have their place to shine, but we'll talk about them a little bit more in depth when we talk about performance. We're looking at perks like Demolitionist, Keep Away, Feeding Frenzy, Onslaught, Rampage, DSR, Kinetic Tremors, Strategist. This gun is absolutely jam-packed, full of bangers for PvE and PvP. And I'm sure you're licking your lips hearing the perk pool because there's so many perk combos to choose from. But be wary, because there are some absolute stinker rolls you can get. Who's out there searching for the Attrition Orb High Ground? Oh, what's that? You wanted a High Ground Hipfire Grip roll? Attrition Orb Snapshot Sight? Like, what a waste of a roll would be to get one of those. And I'm sorry, I just think High Ground and Attrition Orb are such awful perks. We just got to point at them and laugh. Okay, I'm not going to keep bullying this gun for some of the horrible perks it can roll, because it's got some amazing rolls, so you need to keep your eyes out for. Which, up first, is my personal god roll for PvE, which is Demolitionist and Kinetic Tremors. This is the only auto rifle that can roll with this combo. Well, it's actually one of the only 3 weapons in the entire game that can roll with this combo right now, and 2 of them are scout rifles. And if you're like me, you'd rather use just about anything over a scout. I've been using this roll in just about every single piece of content since I got it. I'm talking nightfalls, seasonal activities, lost sectors. Hell, I even took it into Gambit yesterday. I truly try to find myself a Demolitionist roll of every single weapon. And now that I compare it with Kinetic Tremors, I couldn't be happier. And yes, I know you're about to ask, can Kinetic Tremor kills proc Demolitionist? And absolutely it can. Why do you think I wanted it so bad? This is not only my god roll, but I think this is something that every Destiny player should keep in their vault. The second roll you should get your hands on is a Feeding Frenzy with either Onslaught or Rampage. This is the version you would use if you plan to just mow down ads and you have something else equipped for taking out bigger enemies. Let's just say, for example, you decided the Onslaught roll is tickling your fancy. After getting 3 kills with this weapon, you will have an RPM of 714, which is nuts compared to its normal 450 round per minute. And on top of that, you'll have a 1.08 second reload speed, which is nearly 0.7 seconds faster than what you're seeing in the background gameplay. But if fire rate doesn't tickle your fancy and you'd rather have a flat damage increase instead of just shooting fast, then Rampage is also going to be amazing. And then my last PvE recommendation is going to be a Demolitionist plus Pugilist roll. There are only 12 weapons in all of Destiny that can roll with this combo. And I think just having 1 or 2 of them is neat. So if you're looking to farm ability energy, this is 100% your best bet. But if for some reason you'd rather have class ability energy instead of grenade energy, like maybe you're a disgusting freak who hates grenades and fun, for example, you can swap Demolitionist for Strategist. This roll doesn't have any damage increasing perks, so it's going to be a little more hard to kill enemies, but this is definitely for a very heavy ability focused build. And then my last god rolls for PvP. I'm hunting an Onslaught roll with either Dynamic Sway Reduction or Zen Moment. I'm going to be 100% honest, DSR and Zen Moment feel almost identical to me in game. I can't 100% tell the difference, so I treat them the exact same. Then Onslaught is the only 4th column perk that can drop the time to kill of this gun after just 1 kill and then progressively drop it for another 2 kills after that. And look, don't get me wrong, this thing has some amazing PvP perks in the 4th column, like Eye of the Storm and Snapshot Sights. But when we talk about PvP performance here shortly, you'll understand why Onslaught's the best choice. Alrighty, you're probably going to be on the hunt for one of these rolls now, but it might seem a little daunting to get the exact roll you want. But thankfully, this is a Vanguard focus drop like I mentioned earlier. This means once you reset your vendor rank with Zavala, you'll get an additional perk in the 3rd and 4th column, granting you another chance to get the roll you're after. Then on top of that, once you reset for a 2nd time, you'll start getting up to 3 perks per column, increasing your chance of getting that god roll by a ton. Now that we covered all the god rolls, let's talk performance. First up, PvE. Oh my goodness, I really love auto rifles. As a Titan, I think they're the perfect middle ground of range, damage, and performance. And then I also really love the 2 perks you're seeing in the background. There's not much more I love in Destiny than grenades, so that's why demolitionist is a no-brainer. Then I was also blessed with kinetic tremors, which is probably my favorite perk in Destiny currently. It is a massive damaging AoE that is procced by just hitting enemies with bullets, which is a truly amazing perk. This auto rifle feels really good. If you're using a role that consists of onslaught or rampage, you're going to be mowing down ads. And if you're using one with kinetic tremors, you're going to be mowing down ads while also being able to chunk bigger enemies. The origin story is going to try to work itself into your prismatic builds, because it's not only strong, but it's also going to fill both your prismatic bars to keep you as prismatically possible. And I'm going to be honest, I really wouldn't see myself using this as much in other subclasses, because usually you're going to want to match your weapon type to your subclass to get a lot of synergies. And then in your 5th column, it's really going to depend on what activity you're playing. When I found myself playing in higher end content, I actually chose Nadir over Vindition. Mostly because I play far back in Nightfall, so being able to reduce the bullet spread and hit my target made it that much easier to activate kinetic tremors. And in lower end content, I use Vanguard Vindition, because I like to play in a nice way, like a dumbass, and run at the enemy a little bit more. So despite it not being a ton of health, it's definitely saved my life more than not. And then my only one tiny, major, kind of bigger than I want it to be gripe against this weapon is it has no champion stun currently. 0, zilch, nada. Which means if you want to bring this into higher end content with champions, you kind of don't want to, because you usually rely on your primary weapon to stun champions. And this was actually my demise in a GM run I had this week. We got to the final part of the Grandmaster, and once the wave of overloads and barriers came, I had no way to quickly stun either one, leaving me try to 1v7 champions with only ability stuns against the overloads. I give this gun a strong 4.25 out of 5, maybe even a 4.5 out of 5 in PvE, for its amazing perk combinations and having so many great rolls. But I'm just penalizing it a teeny bit for not having a champion stun currently. I know that's not fair, but in higher end content, that's when you get the extra points. Now let's talk PvP. The background gameplay you're seeing was a snapshot sights DSR roll, so this does not have what I consider the most important perk, onslaught, so please keep that in mind. I would say auto rifles are in a pretty good place in Destiny right now. I mean, the 2 most dominant PvP weapons are autos, so that makes sense. But because those 2 are just so dominant, it makes this gun seem so much weaker than it is. I feel like every single death I encountered during this recording was to the fucking cast off. No lie. Even after its nerf, that gun is just too strong. But let's talk about the origin story. It's like a middle child right now. It doesn't have the range of high impacts, and it doesn't have the bullet storm of adaptives or lightweights like the Summoner or the Riposte. And trust me, when I say bullet storm is the meta, it really is. And that's why I think Origin Story could find itself a steady place in this meta if faster RPM saw a slight range nerf. But then again, I feel like rapid fire pulses would swoop in and take the spot. I wouldn't say it's an extremely meta pick or a sneaky good weapon, but I think if you're looking for a pinpoint accurate ranged auto, this is a great pick. With Nadir's focus and DSR, you're going to be firing a laser after just hitting 4 or 5 shots, allowing you to spray transfer enemies flawlessly from a range. But it is so much easier said than done to get that first kill with this gun. Getting that first kill to proc onslaught is going to give you an RPM of 535, putting you right at the range you'd want to be at in comparison to something like the Summoner. So once you get that first kill, you're going to feel amazing, but proccing that first kill is going to be a punk. I think slower RPM auto rifles feel a bit chunky and just don't seem to fill the void I have for a good PvP weapon. So I'm going to give this gun a strong 3.5 out of 5. Meaning it will compete and is still usable, but you would definitely be better off with some of the other weapons for now. And hey guys, really quick, this is more than a 3.5 out of 5. I'm going to bump it to a 4 out of 5 in PvP. I originally tested this thing in 6v6, knowing it's a slow shooting auto rifle and I didn't have an onslaught roll. But once I took this thing into 3v3, it's the background footage you're seeing, this thing started feeling amazing. It has the range you want, the time to kill is great, and it just feels so pinpoint accurate. I'm bumping it to a 4 out of 5. It's definitely worth getting your hands on this. All in all, you need to get your hands on the origin story with one of the amazing rolls we talked about. Once we have overload auto rifles or barrier auto rifles next season, this thing's going to be an A1 option and you're going to feel so good having one. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please let me know what your god roll is. Are you a big target lock fan? You like keep away? Tell me what you're hunting. I'm extremely curious, and also tell me anything else you're hunting. What sneaky weapons do you think are out there that no one's talking about? See ya!